Hi, I'm Tristan, and this is Thinking About Politics. So today, we've had to put our regularly scheduled programming on hold. See, we were going to do another episode of Ballot Question Bonanza, but we got so many great comments on our last video about the Arizona review of ballots that's going on out there, and we just thought it was so important to address one of the really good points that some folks had raised in those comments. So if you're a returning customer, why don't you go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. You'll be real glad you did. Drop us a comment. Let us know how life's treating you. And, if you're first time here, welcome. Let us know what you think. So in our last video, we talked about how recent polling shows that a minority of Americans support what's going on in Arizona. Now, the Arizona State Legislature, after two fair and regular audits, authorized a company called CyberNinjas that had never conducted an audit before to handle their ballots and have done so in a very questionable way. They've left a lot of security lapses. There's not a lot of transparency about what's going on in this process. A lot of folks are saying that the folks who run this company are, committed partisans, which is not great. You generally want your audits being conducted by professional auditors and overseen by public officials in this respect. But that being said, some of the comments that we got last time related to a Rasmussen poll suggesting that 55% of Americans support election audits. And for some, this is construed as saying that 55% of Americans support the CyberNinja, theater, whatever's happening over there. And so let's take a look at that poll right now, So these are the questions that were asked. And I want you to look at that first one. That first question reads, the state of Arizona has conducted a forensic audit of the 2020 election results in Maricopa County to ensure that there was no vote fraud. That's true. The state of Arizona has conducted two audits of the ballots of Maricopa County. At the time of this report, there was another review by this company, CyberNinjas. So this first sentence, this setup, to me is referring to these past legitimate audits that occurred. Do you support or oppose audits of election results? So let's just focus on that question. Forget what the first sentence said. That's kind of to load the question. There's going to be plenty of people who just disregard that and look at that second question. The question is, do you support or oppose audits of election results? Somebody like me would say, yeah, I support audits of election results. What that doesn't say, and this is really important, this doesn't say, do you support or oppose the CyberNinja third review that's happening right now? Doesn't say that. Maybe, right? Maybe this poll is evidence of, more support for the Arizona review of CyberNinjas than I think. But that question is kind of nebulous, right? It really doesn't say exactly what you think it says, if you're taking it as that evidence. Now let's look at the methodology of this report right here. So this survey surveyed 900 likely U.S. voters. Keep that fact in mind. It's going to be relevant in just a minute. Conducted by Pulse Opinion Research, LLC. We'll click the link to see the methodology. So data for Rasmussen polls are collected using an automated polling methodology. Generally speaking, the automated survey process is identical to that of traditional operator-assisted research firms such as Gallup, Harris, and Roper. So, is Rasmussen a biased source? Well, no. I think bias might be the wrong word. Although, take a look at this clip from The Hill.
Why is Rasmussen always 4 or 5 points above most other polls?
I think they tend to be more along the partisan angle, leaning toward Republicans.
But how do they do that? Is it just the people that they're polling, particularly, is weighed more towards Republican
The weight
voters?
that they put toward partisan self-identification.
Okay. What is
Plus, they also use likely voters. And most polls use national adults or registered voters, and they use likely voters, which screens it down to people. I believe that's correct, who say they're going to vote. And they typically, that skews Republican because Republicans are more likely to vote.
Likely voters are a small subset of registered voters.
Mm-hmm.
Many people in this country, particularly in midterm elections or special elections, don't vote.
You know, Rasmussen deserves a lot of credit. They got a lot of elections in 2016. They called it correctly, where a lot of other sources didn't. But I think it's also, you know, you understand Rasmussen for what it is, and you understand what their methodologies are. You know, it's not that you should discount what Rasmussen says. It's that you should take it in an overall collection, right? 55% support audits of election results. Yeah, I'm not surprised. But it doesn't say that 55% support the ongoing Maricopa County CyberNinja thing. Even if it did, there's reason to, like, let's play a mental game, right? Let's say that this question actually said, do you support or oppose the CyberNinja review of audits going on in the Civic Center down in Maricopa County? And 55% of people said yes. Well, knowing that, would that mean that 55% of Americans support what's happening? Still no. It would mean that someone ran a poll one day, and that's the number they got. What you really need to do is you need to take in a broad variety of sources. You need to look at the full ecosystem. That's what makes things like 538 so powerful.
So to help you better understand which pollsters are doing a good job of polling Americans, 538 reviews all the major pollsters after each election cycle and gives them a rating. Sometimes a pollster is consistently inaccurate in a particular direction. This is called a house effect. Take Rasmussen reports. Rasmussen's national polls in the last several election cycles have been more right-leaning than the average of all the polls in the days leading into the election. And their state-level polls have as well.
So I think, you know, the best way to sum it up is this, and I'm going to end with Nate Silver from 538. Writing about Rasmussen polls in 2010, Nate Silver wrote, "What you do need to be aware of is that Rasmussen's opinion is one among many. They might turn out to be right, but so might all the other pollsters who have different opinions about the electorate. If you're running a news organization and you tend to cite Rasmussen's poll disproportionately, it probably means that you are biased. It does not necessarily mean that Rasmussen is biased." I think that's probably a good way to put it. So I really do appreciate the folks who took the time to comment on the last video. I hope you comment again and, you know, give me some more sources. This was a really interesting poll to learn about, and, you know, I can see the mistake in your reasoning. You're kind of, look, it's confirmation bias. You're seeing facts that you think back up what you think they say, and so you're kind of reading into them. Step back. Don't try to prove yourself right. Try to prove yourself wrong. It's a really fruitful exercise. So send me some more information I might not have already. This Rasmussen poll was news to me. Is there anything else that I'm missing? I can comment on that too. But anyway, that's all I got for now. Until next time.
I ain't got time to kiss you now, I'm busy.